How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to use the Godox FV-150 full capability of the flash, including the high-speed sync, which wasn't possible on the previous videos that I made for the Godox FV-150. It was only limited to the pocket razor here, which does not support high-speed sync, and Godox sent to me an XPro C, in my case Canon. So for the demonstration of this video, I'm going to be using the Canon 1DX Mark II. When I was unboxing this here with the fancy display and everything, this is quite pretty. I thought I was going to be here all day reading the manual of how to actually sync this up with the slides, and it turns out to be easier than I thought. All you gotta do is to match the ID with the ID on the back over here, and also the group number and everything, the same way you can actually sync this one with the other one here. Now the Godox sent me the XPro, and I also have the two Godox, the two FV-150. Now we can do the whole thing complete. I can show you guys how to synchronize the stuff. Now before you even attempt to slide this plate into your camera's hot shoe, you see there's a little pin here which is spring loaded. You gotta make sure you turn this wheel to the full unlocked position. As you can see, the pin now is reseated, is flat. Otherwise the pin is gonna get broken, or it's gonna also damage your camera's hot shoe. So again, the pin is up, wrong way. Never insert this thing with the pin up, only this way. The side panel here is your power button, on and off, and here is your focus beam assistant, which you can actually turn on or off when you use your speed lights. The other side here you have a USB Type-C port and also a 2.5mm sync cord input jack over here. And on the back here it needs two AA batteries. Again, make sure this pin is fully reseated here. Then you slide this on your hot shoe mount. Make sure you lock it down. Power your DSLR. Power this on. The first thing you're going to be encountering here is this large display here with the groups A, B, C, D, E. You can connect the FV-150 all into one channel or several into different channels over here. So before you start messing with this thing here, make sure, of course, the first thing you gotta do is to make sure your FV-150 is set to flash. You press this button once. Right now it's on LED. Press flash. It's gonna go to flash. And then check the menu here to see where your group ID is. My case is 01. Press the menu once again to exit that. I'm on channel 1, group A, which is this, group A, channel 1, and the ID is 01. Now you're going to press the menu here once, and then you scroll all the way down to the ID. Mine is already set to 01. If it's not, you can actually set anything from 01 to off or all the way up to 99. So I'm going to hit set here to confirm. So we took care of the ID already, ID 01 with ID 01. Exit this out. Now you're going to go back to the display, group A, B, C, D, E. Right now I'm going to be having all my FV-150s to the same group doing the same exact thing. Next, what you want to do is press this button here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. Press this button here and hold it. Then you have the option to change from channel 1 all the way to channel 32. Mine is set to 1, so I'm gonna press set. And the group A is group A. If you wish to change to group B, for example, make sure you press the group button on your light here, and then you can change to B, C, D, E, whatever. So I'm gonna go back to A. This doesn't do the 0 to 9. I don't know why, but that's how it is. So I'm gonna set to group A. Done. So again, we have group A with group A, channel 1, and the ID is 01. So to assign our groups here and to make the settings correctly, you always have to make sure this is pressed and these things are highlighted. So you're gonna press the mode button. As you can see, there's nothing here, off. Press once again is your TTL. Press once again. This is where you want to set your FV-150 to manual, because that's not a TTL light, okay? So again, you have 0, TTL. To select the exposure compensation, which is not part of this video, but I'm showing you anyway real quick, I can go +3 to -3 and press the set button again. If you press the mode button without highlighting this is what's going to happen. Something else is going to show up. So this is your, again, your TTL speed light flash over here. So press mode once again to get out of this. Make sure again this is always highlighted, and then when you press the mode, that's when you're gonna see the manual, off, or TTL or whatever. Okay, so again, if you deselect this, you press mode, something else is gonna show up. So again, press the button, mode, and then you do your selection. Let's leave it at manual. So now you can start turning the dial here. It says 1 to 1, 1 to 1. It's gonna respond exactly what you see on this display. You know, 1/2 plus 0.3 right there, all the way down to 1/16 of the power. If you go any lower, it stops at 16. This is what this light is capable of doing as far as power goes. If you drop down to 32, you see nothing happens. It doesn't mean your flash is not gonna fire. It will fire, okay? But to make changes, you gotta make sure it is at least on 1/16 of the power, all the way to a full power. Keep in mind, since it is a full blast like any other studio flash, when you press the fire button, this is gonna take about half a second to come up. If you wanna shoot real fast, for example, a quarter powder, you can go crazy, okay? But 1 to 1, just respect the unit at the time the capacitor changes to reach the full charge to be fired again, okay? As you can see here, everything is firing. This light and this light, they are both assigned to the same group A. And to assign the group B is just the same procedure. You just tap in here, press the mode button, then you can choose TTL, or in this case I'm gonna leave it manual, and then you can leave it as 1 to 1 if you want, or something else. Right now I'm gonna leave it at half power, press set to confirm. And you can do the same thing with the C, D, and E. So the only thing you have to change here is just the group letters. So this one is on letter A, the other one has to be changed to B. So you press the group channel button here, make sure it is selected to B. You can either click here or there, either one. So to fire the flash, you can actually press here instead of just firing the shot on the DSLR. So right now, group A is this light. Group B is this one here. This is set to half power. This is set to full power. So when you press this button here, they're both gonna fire because they are on. So if you don't want this light to fire, search for group B here, the light, which light is on group B. Press this button here which says group B, press the mode button, turn it off, and then press set to confirm, and then only this one will flash. So this light here is set to half power, this one set to full power. This all button here, when you click on it, now let's say that you need to change a whole stop down between two lights without losing the setting. Keeping this one at full power and this one at half power, you simply press the all button here, and then you can actually make your changes to either full stop or 1/3 of stop increments. Now if you need to set the same value to both lights, just hit the set button so nothing gets selected here, and then you can go to group B, for example, and then you set to half a power, press set, then you press the all again, and they will change exactly to the same exact power setting. So this is actually a very cool feature when the lights are far away and you need to change everything instantly. There you go, you can access everything through either all or individually without even touching the lights. See this mod button here? By pressing it quickly, you can actually turn on the modeling light and still fire your flash. This way you can actually see when the modeling light comes on, it means your capacitor is fully ready to be fired, okay? When you decrease the intensity here to something less than 1, for example, a quarter, and then this is going to change very quickly. This barely blinks because the capacitor charges very quickly. So again, mod on, off, on, and off. Keep in mind to adjust the intensity of the LED light. To access this, you have to press mod once, so it turns on, and then you come here, mine is set to 5%, but you can actually adjust all the way to 100% the modeling lights. So if you want to go all the way to 100%, you fire the flash as usual, and the modeling light is a full blast if you need that. I like mine to 5%. I just want to see that the capacitor here has charged, especially when I have the 1-to-1 full blast. And then I can actually see from the front of the light when I'm not in the back here to see that the flash is actually ready to go. Again, I wish they made a beep here because I wouldn't even need the modeling light on. I can simply turn it off and hear the beep and then, okay, it's time to fire again. Let's go. Boom, 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 right? So a quick recap here. That's all you need to synchronize the FV-150 to the XPro. Make sure you are on channel 1 to channel 1, group A to group A, and go to the menu here, set the ID to 1 or whatever number you want. Mine is 01, done. Group A, channel 1, channel 1. It's that simple. Your FV-150 is fully paired and synchronized with this thing. So right now my camera is at 1/60th of a second. You can shoot without a high-speed sync from anywhere from bulb all the way to 250. You press your shutter as usual, camera will fire. You don't want the modeling light on, turn it back off. There you go, it fires, right? Now under the menu, the zoom button here, you can actually see a bigger display, or you can actually press it once again. You see all your groups over here. So since I'm working with a group A only, I'm just gonna press this and see everything big at a glance right there. You can still turn on and off your modeling lights and everything. You can actually select your group. So you can go from A, B, C, D, E, instead of going to the A, B, C, D, E like this. So you can actually press the TCM button here. So I'm on group A, right? Now the synchronization here for the high-speed sync, all you gotta do is press the sync button. This button is present either on zoom mode or all the groups at a glance. You still see the sync here or here. So you press the sync button once, you have your high-speed flash engaged. Press sync once again, you have the second curtain option if that's what you want to use your flash for. But you shoot anything higher than 250 or 200, make sure you press the sync. So if you are at a speed here of 500th of a second, the flash will still fire, but it's not going to sync and your frame is going to be cut. So in order for you to set up the high speed sync, make sure you press the sync here. That's the high speed sync. And then if you are, for example, any speed higher than 250, for example, 320, 500 or thousandths of a second, when you press the shutter, pay attention right here. The high speed icon is going to appear here. There you go. So right now my 1DX Mark II is set to 800th of a second. You press the shutter here, it goes to 250 maximum because the high speed sync feature is not enabled. Again, you have to press the sync button once, and then you see the high speed sync right here. You're gonna see the high speed icon appearing right here, the little age. Fire the camera, the age is right here. You turn it off, it disappears. And it's locked to 250 as soon as you press the shutter here. So you can't go past 250, see that? So press the sync button here, make sure the high speed sync is, and then you can shoot at 250, at 1000, all the way to 8,000ths of a second. This thing is gonna let you sync. Now keep in mind here, for example, at 8,000ths of a second, you're going to need a lot of light output for whatever it is that you're shooting. The same way when you're shooting video with a super sophisticated high-speed camera, motion picture, you're going to need a lot of light. Keep that in mind. So either you have to bring the light closer to the subject or get like a bunch of FV-150s to compensate for the shutter speed of 8,000ths of a second, 4,000ths of a second, and so on. And the second option here, you press the sync until you find the second curtain option here. So the order is nothing, just regular photography. Press the sync once, you have your high speed sync over there. And press it once again, you have the second curtain option there. And press once again, nothing. Then when you go back to the firing the camera, it's gonna limit it to 250 every time you press the shutter. Again, you can turn on and off the modeling lights. So as you can see, I'm firing the camera here twice. The flash didn't have time to charge thing there, right? So you gotta go back to dialing this wheel down here to at least a quarter. Let's see what happens to half. Yeah, it's decent. But just to be sure, at a quarter for sure, I'm gonna set my drive here to high speed. Pretty cool. So at a quarter, you can go crazy with this flash. At half a second, it still does very good. At half a power, just wait a half a second that it needs. Keep in mind, if you're taking 800 shots with this, you might overheat the unit the same way you're gonna overheat any other studio flash, because the capacitor is gonna overheat and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care if it is a broncolor, or maybe the broncolor, you don't have that problem because the Scoro is a $10,000 power pack. That might be an exception, but for most studio flashes, just take it easy on full power if you don't want to overheat the unit. This never happened to me, it's just by experience, because I know these things do overheat, and I don't think why the FV-150 would be an exception. Now is the moment we all been waiting for, including myself. I haven't tested this yet because I just got this here. So instead of having a person or a dancer doing some splits or jumps in there, which is not going to be nearly as fast as what you want to see, because for a regular person, a human being, 800 of a second is plenty good to freeze the action already. So to shoot at speeds of 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, and 8,000, I'm going to actually bring a bicycle down here, flip it upside down, and spin the wheel real fast to see how much we can freeze the image. Or unless you have a hummingbird, which I don't have one right now, so it's either the hummingbird or the bicycle. Alright, the first test we're going to be doing here with that wheel is the flash at 1:1 power, 1/250th of a second, ISO 500 f7 to properly expose the wheel right there. So what really matters is not the ISO, it's nothing but the shutter speed. So flash duration, we're checking the full power, the 1:1, because most flashes, they have trouble freezing the image at 1:1. So let's run the test. Sometimes you're not going to hear my voice well because the mic is right here on the boom, so my wife is going to be helping me fire this thing here. Okay, ready, honey? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go. Then there should be plenty of speed. Fire the hole. Okay, so let's see what we got. And as you can see, you can't freeze that kind of thing at 1/250th of a second. If you don't have the high speed capability, forget about it. You cannot possibly freeze that wheel. Let's jump to 4,000th of a second. Fire.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, the thing kind of froze. So right now, just for the hell of it, we're going to be doing a full 8,000th of a second, just for the heck of it. Fire. To me, that thing is dead frozen. And the flash is working perfectly. The whole frame is exposed, no curtains to cut anything. And this is at 1:1 power. And I don't think it would matter now to go between the 1/2. So if it goes well at 1:1 power, which is usually the slowest flash duration, let's go all the way down to 1/8, okay? Something around there. Okay, right now I'm at ISO 12,800 at 1/8000th of a second at f4. This is not a fast lens, okay? So just for the sake of it, I'm gonna be spinning this at 1/8000th of a second at the power intensity of 1/8. Go. And again, the wheel is frozen, 8,000th of a second, ISO 12800, f4 at 1/8. So to summarize everything, I believe this whole test was a success. The FV-150 proves that it's able to freeze whatever it is they want frozen in combination with the XPro transmitter. Even with the flash set a full blast to 1:1, because most flashes, they have trouble freezing the image with the flash duration at full power. So if you can actually freeze everything at full power, you're not going to have a problem setting the flash to a lower power. So they're saying that the LED and flash is about 4 times the amount. So the LED at full blast should read 150 watts. And the flash should be around 600 watts, which should be equivalent to about 2.5 stops or something like that. So let's make a test right now. I'm on flash mode, 1:1 ratio. The reading is f22.2 at 1/25th of a second, ISO 800. Let's switch to the LED mode at full blast. I'm on continuous light mode here. Switch the thing to LED at 100%. Adjust the exposure of the camera that's filming this. There you go. We have about f14.5. So to round everything up, the flash was technically 22.5, and this is about 11.5. So you have f16.5 and 22.5. So that's actually 2 stops difference between the LED at full blast and the flash at full blast. So it's significantly brighter and more powerful than the LED itself. So when you're actually shooting photography with this light, you're having at least 2 f-stops brighter. So that should conclude the end of my tutorial here in helping you how to configure the high-speed sync using the Godox FV-150 paired with the XProC, in my case Canon here. I hope this video was helpful to you in using this product in conjunction with this. Thank you very much again for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.